and their allies to act together for justice. Our role is to support communities to build their power so that they can get the changes they need for their communities. You don't need me to tell you what's happening in the world today. We've heard the stories. We know actually around the world in terms of the global refugee crisis, more people on the move than ever before recorded in any time of history. And a large part of that is obviously the Syrian crisis. I think it's always important to ask people why they care, where they're coming from. And the reason I care about this, the reason I'm standing here today is I grew up in London, and I grew up in a diverse London with lots of different communities. But over the course of my life, I've met so many people who came to the UK, not because it was some land with milk and honey, it was some wonderful place they wanted to come to, but because it was somewhere they could go that was safe. But what did they find when they got here? They found an immigration system that treats people without dignity and humiliates people in the process. They found immigration detention being locked up for no reason, for administrative reasons only. They found xenophobia, they found a hostile media, they found a government that's actually trying to create a hostile environment. But you know what? I didn't choose that. I'm a British person and that was not what I signed up for. And so I feel it's my duty to try and do what I can to make sure that Britain treats migrants and refugees with respect. Because my parents, you go far enough back, were refugees from France. Not my parents, my ancestors. Migration is a fact of life, it is happening, and we have to just understand that and deal with that. We've heard, we know the world is difficult at the moment, there's a picture of doom and gloom, but some things are happening, people are organising. Over 1 million people took action in September this year to try and show some sign of welcoming refugees, whether that's signing petitions, meeting MPs or getting organised. There are now 82 different groups all around the UK that are organising to try and welcome. That's from Glasgow to Devon, from Northern Ireland to Bradford, North Wales to Norfolk. Ordinary citizens have come together. And thousands of pounds have been raised in scholarships and in support for people to come over as refugees. But the real lesson I want you to take away from today is about power. And power is the ability to act, it's the ability to get things done. And you need to understand that because sadly, it doesn't matter how many pictures we see and it doesn't matter how good our arguments are. If we don't organise and if we don't make change, then things don't change. Things don't work for the better just because we want it to be or because it's right that they ought to change. That's really my fundamental belief in why I work as an organiser. So all the right arguments, all the good stories, unless they are connected with organised action, is not going to make a difference. So when a lot of the pictures that were seen over the summer, we realised that there was a bit of an impact in the UK and we suddenly had an opportunity to act. Lots of people around the UK came together to organise. We realised we had to build collective power because we still weren't getting a government reaction. But we didn't come together randomly, there was a plan. My organisation is part of a network of groups known as Citizens UK. It's a collection of faith groups, community groups, schools, colleges, trade unions, resident associations, anywhere where people gather. And along with other allied charities that work with refugees, we came together to find out what we could do. And for 2 years, we'd already been campaigning to try and get local authorities to commit to welcoming refugees in their area, because we knew that would undermine the government's argument that Britain is full or Britain is not welcome. But first of all, we needed a commitment. We needed some type of commitment to get people here. The only person who could do that was David Cameron. So in September, under the banner of Refugees Welcome, we organised a march for 100,000 people in London and other groups around the UK, calling for more people to be resettled. At the same time, local authorities took action, talked about their pledges. Thousands of people signed petitions. There was a momentum. We won this commitment from David Cameron, which in the grand scheme of things is so small. But you know what? All that effort is worth it for one family and for one life. And so I'm not going to apologise for all the hard work that we did. We won a commitment for 20,000 people over 5 years, and it's nowhere near enough, and we need to keep pushing, but at least it's something. We'd won that commitment, but we knew that the government would delay and that their own resettlement schemes had only taken a few hundred people. and we needed resettlement to happen more quickly. So we worked with bishops. Bishops are people with a lot of influence. They wrote letters. We asked questions in Parliament. People organised. They met with their MPs. And we organised a vigil of over 1,000 people who came outside Parliament with senior politicians to call for at least 1,000 people to be resettled before Christmas and before the weather got much, much worse. And the next week, Cameron committed to bringing 1,000 people before Christmas. And again, that happened. Now, 1,000 people in the grand scheme of things is not enough. The UK is not doing its fair share. We need to push for more. But I'm telling you this because I'm trying to get you to understand that this stuff was organised. Things don't just happen, you make them happen. And those people came, and 1,000 people are being resettled at the moment around the UK, in Derry, Londonderry, Glasgow, Strathclyde, Bath, Bristol, Nottingham, Bradford, Birmingham, Hull, Manchester, Islington. Groups are organising and supporting them. But as I said, and as other speakers have more than emphasised, it's not enough, and we need many, many more people to get involved. But what gives this movement the power that it does have is ordinary people taking action together. Ordinary people who are organised, who are connected, who are strategic, and they understand how power works. As Yasmin said, you need to be speaking to your MPs. You need to be making sure you're engaging with the media. But you can also do things in your local area. There's a website which is refugees-welcome.org.uk, and I'll put it on the Facebook group so everyone has it. And there are local groups in, as I said, around 82 different local authority areas. But if there's no group in your area, you can set one up. And you can offer whatever skills, experience, or connections you have, really. To give you some idea of the things that are needed, we need campaigns to get more local authorities to sign up. If local authorities offer places for refugees to be resettled, the argument that the government can't resettle people is very, very hard to make. We need commitments from local MPs to support these actions, to speak out regularly in Parliament, and to vote in the way that we want them to on key decisions. We need landlords who can offer properties for new arrivals. That's one of the big challenges in urban areas. We need organisations who can put up money to bring people here through private sponsorship visas. We need volunteers to offer their support to welcome, befriend, and share English with Syrian arrivals when they do come. Whatever you have to offer, the movement can benefit from it. And it's up to you to decide what to do. It's your choice. You know yourself what you have to offer. But all I would urge you to do is take some action from today. Go and find out what is happening, look at all the action that's taking place, and reach out, try and connect, and see what action you can take. There's a phrase that's used all the time, but I'm going to use it because it has power, which is the only thing needed for evil to triumph is that good people do nothing. The only thing needed for evil to triumph is that good people do nothing. And I'm only speaking within the UK context here, but there is so much we can do even in the UK, and the ramifications for that on the bigger picture are really important. So thank you so much for your time. I'll be around for a while as well.
Thank you very much, Jessica.